Dr. Abdullah Abdullah, the Chief Executive of Afghanistan, joins us for a special discussion. Of course, he has a very tough and challenging job that he does. So let me start by asking you, I have visited your country many times, and you know, what is visible are the signs of destruction. Whether you look left or you look right, all you see is destruction. You've had, of course, a violent history. And since 2001, when your country was invaded, it's now 16 years since America promised to rebuild Afghanistan. Can you put a timeline to some form of peace and security in Afghanistan?
Well, you can see signs of destruction. At the same time, you see lots of recovery, lots of reconstruction, rehabilitation. That's in every walks of life. From a situation where students, girls were not allowed to school, to millions of girls going to school, boys and girls altogether, and also in various aspects of life. That's one. And also the younger generation, which is forward-looking and rebuilding their lives and contributing to the well-being of the country, the private sector development, women's participation. A lot has changed. I don't think that a single country can make a promise to reconstruct another country. But at the same time, I should say that the United States has played an important role in support of reconstruction of the country, and also helping us, helping our security situation. Unfortunately, the terrorism, which is not just a factor for us, but Afghanistan has happened to be in the forefront of fight against terrorism, and that comes with a price. Now the announcement of the new policy has brought some new hopes, but a lot will depend, of course, on the effort of our own people, our nation, but at the same time, those who are harboring terrorist networks and groups and sanctuaries, which I hope that it will be addressed.
Why are you reluctant to name Pakistan? I mean, clearly you are pointing towards Pakistan. They are the ones sponsoring terrorism.
The point is that,
harboring sanctuaries.
That sanctuaries for Taliban are there in Pakistan. It's not reluctance to name. We cannot shy away from that fact, and we are hopeful that we will be able to address it through our bilateral engagements, or otherwise. This has been the main challenge in regards to our relations with Pakistan. We have made efforts. Previous administration under former President Karzai had made efforts, but the problem and the challenge persisted and continued to be there.
You were talking about terrorism. It's a very, very important issue. Yet, your government is in negotiation with the Taliban. Can you brief us a little on what is happening with that dialogue?
Unfortunately, we haven't had headways or progress in that regard. The policy remains to be the same. The door for negotiations is open with the Taliban. From time to time, there have been contacts, but no real progress.
Do you really believe in good Taliban and bad Taliban? Do you think it's fair to make that distinction?
Those who are using violence and also terrorist methods against our people and have linkages with the terrorist groups, we consider them the same. If there are groups that want to give up and come to the negotiating tables, if that's all Taliban altogether or part of them, we welcome it. The sooner it comes, the better it will be for the interest of the country. But we don't make distinction between terrorist groups or groups which are using violence against our people, especially innocent people.
So we're talking about Pakistan. India thinks Pakistan is a problem. Pakistan thinks India is a problem, particularly in Afghanistan. What do you think, sir, as the chief executive of that country?
India and Pakistan has their own perspectives in regards to one another. When it comes to the situation in Afghanistan, we still think that the issue of sanctuaries are the main issues, which has prevented our relations, Afghanistan and Pakistan, to get to a level that we have wished to be. And we are still hopeful, but there is no doubt that currently serious challenges are there.
India has been a long-standing friend of Afghanistan. Do you think India needs to add boots to the ground?
We haven't come to that conclusion in our discussions. India is supporting Afghanistan, has been supporting Afghanistan with billions of dollars of assistances in different fields. Also, there is security cooperation between both countries, including training of our police as well as our army officers. Those cooperations will be further strengthened, but never in our discussions or bilateral discussions this issue has been raised.
But there is also a strong point of view, and we discussed it in the course of the HT summit as well, that aid has remained ineffective.
There have been lessons as far as the effectiveness of aid effectiveness is concerned. These are part of the global exchanges as well, but also in regards to Afghanistan. In earlier stages, it was mainly donors-driven type of projects or quick fix projects. It was called quick impact, but a quick impact came with short impact. Today, our focus is on sustainable development, and India there as a lead country, in terms of renewable energy as well as sustainable development. What Prime Minister Modi talked about this morning, or what we see as a result of its policies of this government, its equitable growth, its comprehensive and inclusive growth and sustainable growth, what is needed. So our focus is on the sustainability of the development in the country. More and more aid is now, assistances are through the budget process, on budget support, which we have welcomed it. And we will continue to work with our international partners to see more effectiveness.
Let me ask you a question that I've already asked you, but once more. Do you think adding boots to the ground, if in India adding boots to the ground is a good idea or a bad idea according to you?
We are not talking about good ideas and bad ideas. We are talking about relations between both countries, which are already in good footing. At the same time, this issue has never been raised. And the reason that it has not been raised...
There has been some expectation in Washington about this.
They haven't raised it with us as well. But we are happy with the level of cooperation, and I'm sure that the cooperation will continue, and relations between both countries will go from strength to strength. That one element is neither the deficit in the relations nor something that we have been talking about.
So before I let you go, last question. What do you see as your most serious challenge going forward in Afghanistan at the moment?
Still security and security challenges driven by the terrorist groups.
Okay, because there's
the main challenge.
Big terror strike almost every week, and it must be difficult for you to even meet your own people.
That is not, no, the picture is also not that grim. Yeah, there is no doubt that our people are suffering and have suffered so much in the past 4 decades, but also because of the continued threat from terrorist groups. Incidents take place in our country, but life continues, and millions of people are busy building their lives in their future.
Dr. Abdullah, thank you so much for speaking with Hindustan Times.
You're welcome.